Time is relative and pretty darn flexible when you're in the edit bay. On the foundational level, editing is all about manipulating time and space. One aspect of this time manipulation is the multitude of speed effects that the editor can shift into gear. In this episode, we're going to look at how you can adjust the timing of your footage, go back in time, and be thrown fast forward into the future. Drop the pedal to the floor and let the DeLorean hit 88. We're cutting class. Time and speed effects can be tricky to wrap your head around. However, they can be pretty simple to pull off. And with a little understanding, you can find yourself breaking all sorts of boundaries. Why don't we dig deeper on time and the moving image by watching this?
Frame rate, a slideshow from adjunct propaganda. When the cow moos, advance to the next slide. Moo. Moving images in film and video are built on frames. Frames are still images that are on screen for a brief moment of time. Moo. If you were to take out every other frame, your moving image would be half as long, but twice as fast. Moo. If you were to double up every frame, your moving image would be twice as long and half the speed. Moo. By varying this frame rate over time and timing the variance of the rate of your frames, you can be really confusing to your audience. Moo.
Alright, good deal. Let's use this knowledge to look at several techniques that we can use to apply time and speed effects to our footage. And nothing says speed like a roundhouse kick from Chuck Norris, which of course can't be shot without special equipment, so we're going to use next best thing, ninjas with swords. Probably the easiest and most simple speed effect is the good old jump cut. Simply drop your clip in your timeline, cut it in several places where you want the action to cut out, then use the ripple tool to adjust the head of each clip. Notice how it shrinks the clip but keeps the edit point. This is because the ripple tool is designed to trim edits, but is one-sided in that it only changes either the in point or the out point of a clip. Be careful when performing a ripple edit, because it's really easy to lose sync throughout your project by doing this. The great thing about this technique is that you can jarringly pace your viewer through an otherwise long take. Some speed effects are filters that you can apply right in your NLE or in a motion graphics program like Adobe After Effects. One such effect is a strobe or a posterized time effect. What this does is select a predetermined number of frames from a clip, usually based on frames per second, and extends those frames until it reaches the next selected frame. For example, if I were to apply a strobe to our clip here, set it to a duration of 2, let it play, notice the clip seems like a sticky sequence of still frames. If we bump this number up to say 24 to 28, we now get a slight flicker in our image without losing too much information in the clip. In combination with other filters, it can give us a simulated film look. Another filter that's common in most editing apps is a time echo or echo filter. An echo filter will combine and blend frames from different times in your clip. Oftentimes, you can select the echoed images to decay or fade out. It's a good way to create streaks and trails within an image. Time crushing is another term for speeding up footage to give it a fast-forward effect. Most NLEs will allow you to do this. One thing to note, most apps allow you to modify the speed of a clip in two ways, either by adjusting a percentage or entering in an exact time. Most of the world, such as the Adobe products, goes by the correlation that if you adjust the speed of the clip to play at 50%, it will be twice as fast. For instance, a 12-second clip adjusted to 50% will be 6 seconds long. Apple's Final Cut Pro works the opposite, meaning if you adjust a 12-second clip to play at 50%, it would be 24 seconds long. Just as you can speed things up, you can also slow them down. In your NLE, this works the same way. You either adjust the percent value for the change, or you enter in the exact length of time that you want for the clip. The NLE will lengthen the clip by creating and inserting new frames, and these new frames are blends of the existing frames. When done in an NLE, slow motion can look somewhat artificial. Personally, I prefer to make these adjustments in Adobe After Effects because its frame blending, pixel motion, creates creates a much more realistic slow motion effect. Time ramping, or remapping, is the results of utilizing time crushing and/or slow motion and changing those effects within the same clip. There are several ways to do this. A quick and easy way is right in your NLE. Here we have our music bed. There are a couple of impact points in the track that are marked so we know where they are. I'm going to place the clip I want to time ramp, alter, on top of my music bed. We'll advance the playhead to the first impact point and use the blade tool to cut the video clip here. I'm going to scrub through the clip to a point where I want my action to slow down and coincide with the second marker in my bed. Here it is in the video. Notice that's decidedly past the marker. That's okay. I'm going to make a second cut in my video here. Now I'm going to determine the duration between the two markers. I select my video clip, the second portion that I want to run between the markers, go to the Modify menu and select Speed. A dialog box pops up, and under Duration, I'm going to type in the length of time between my two markers. Notice that the clip now spans that gap and is sped up when I play it back. The third portion of my clip, I want to slow down and span the length of time to the next impact point in the music. Again, I determine what the duration is, go to Modify Speed, and enter in the duration. Note that the clip extends this duration now and is in slow motion. Let's watch. A more true way of time ramping is to use keyframes. Some NLEs will allow you to do this, but I prefer to use After Effects as it makes working with keyframes easier and the results are smooth. Here I have my clip in a composition in After Effects. The length of the composition extends beyond the clip. This is in case we extend the clip. We can cut it down when we render out. I select my clip in the timeline, go to my Layer menu, select Time, and under this submenu select Time Remapping. In the timeline, under the clip, the Time Remap function has appeared with keyframes at the start and end of the clip. These keyframes say, this is where the first frame begins, and this is where the last frame ends. Right now our clip plays at normal speed. Let's move our playhead where we want our time ramp to begin and place a new keyframe. Without moving any of these keyframes, our clip still plays at normal speed. Now let's advance the playhead to where we want our action to make its second change. Create a new keyframe here. Each of these keyframes represents the frame associated with that point of time in the original clip. I'm going to slide the second keyframe we added back in time along the timeline. What this is doing is compressing time for the frames that are in the gap of where we're moving this keyframe and expanding the time of the frames in the gap where we're taking this keyframe from. You can add in a variety of keyframes to crush time, slow-mo, and even reverse your footage if you want. After you've set your keyframes, then ease adjust them by selecting them, go into the Animation menu, and select Keyframe Adjustment, Easy Ease. With your keyframe selected in your timeline, click on the button to show your graph editor, and you'll notice a graph with a line that represents your time remapping for the clip. As the line moves from left to right, horizontal surfaces are slow motion moments, vertical inclines are fast time crushed moments, and vertical declines are reversed moments. You can shape the curves of this line by selecting a keyframe and then adjust the handles that correspond to it. All these techniques can be pretty cool if they're used right, although they can ruin a production if they're used gratuitously out of context. One thing that helps sell them is some well-placed sound effects, a good sense of pacing, and a few flash frames or effects that set the mood and help ease the eye through transitions. Let's put together a sequence of shots here with some speed and time effects, stylize it with some graphics and a look, add in our sound effects, and let's check it out. Some of these effects are nothing more than simple cuts, and understanding the ancient art of editing become powerful tools to wield. Take advantage of the power that you have to manipulate time and space, and you'll be seeing a bright future. Well, time's up now, quite literally, so we'll see you next time.